Joining me now is Jim Stormont. He's the president of Avalon Hotel here and this beautiful place that we have. And Jim, welcome.
Thank you very much, John. Happy to be here.
Now, your staff has been fantastic. Stephanie and Catherine, they've been excellent. Your overnight people getting us everything that we need for everybody that comes in and escorting them up. So I really want to give your staff here a big shout out. They've been fantastic to work with.
Well, thank you. They are incredible, and we really appreciate the folks that have stayed and are working with us, keeping this our baby alive. We call this hotel our baby, and it's been a tragic period of time for a lot of businesses and for us, but we've gone from 228 employees down to about 10. So it's a shame, and we're looking forward to the day we can get the balance of our staff back on, engaged, and working with us in beautiful Avalon.
So Avalon Hotel, you have gone from 228 employees to 10.
That's it.
That's down 218.
We are down 95+% in revenues, and you just can't pay people when you don't have revenues.
How do you survive, Jim?
Well,
because you've got lease payment, right? This is a huge facility, and you own the hotel, right? And everything in it.
Right. My obviously
the restaurant, the bars, everything.
Yeah, I have lots of partners, of course, but one of my partners is Mark Toro in North American Properties, who is the master developer of all of Avalon, but he's a partner in the hotel itself, along with institutional investors and lenders, and it was a large-scale development when we opened. We started construction in 2016, opened in 2018, was arguably, but I believe, the most successful hotel in the metropolitan area of Atlanta, and doing extremely well when this all hit. And so, when you have to remove 95% of your employees on a furlough temporarily, it is tough to survive. We've got mortgage, we've got all the typical utilities and labor costs, and but we're making our way through it, and we have a plan to survive as long as the economy starts coming back and people start traveling more and the fear subsides a little. I think we're going to ride it through.
We were talking earlier, Jim, about the fear factor. My first day in Georgia, coming from Washington, D.C., where we're in total lockdown, I guess my anticipation was it would be a little bit different. I kind of saw the same thing. Everybody's got a mask on. One of my guests that I had dinner with, I saw him, gave him a hug. People looked at me like I was a leper or something. I got a bunch of dirty looks. A restaurant that fits 300 people had 6 people in it at 6 o'clock. And a couple restaurant owners I talked to, so to get your take on this, said they can't afford to open. They can't afford to open. They have to spend money to get the food in. They have to replenish their liquor, so they can't afford that. Plus, they said they can't find workers because everybody's getting unemployment.
Yes, those are lots of issues
so
you just brought up right there.
As a business owner whose revenues are down 95%, how does this work now?
Well, that is, you pointed out the exact challenge, that we're going to lose more money when we start opening because you have to staff up, and before the demand is back. And we closed down our restaurant and our bar and our catering and banquet operations. And like you said, to get the purchasing people back, the chefs, the general managers, the servers, all these people coming back, and if you only get 6 people coming into the restaurant, you're losing more money than if you weren't open. And even if you have, restaurant business is a very low margin business, and food and beverage, and if you're barely covering your cost when you're full. So imagine that even if you opened up and you had 50% of your demand and revenues, you're probably losing money. So how do we go from here to there is the big question. And I agree with you on this fear factor. I want to comment on that because I think I have maybe a unique perspective, and I'm going to try and describe it to you. Having a pandemic in the era of internet, last 20 years we've had this internet era, and everyone can look at anything they want on the internet to confirm their beliefs. And I am a strong believer of confirmation bias. So people go to the internet and they seek out information that supports their already preconceived notions, and then it amplifies those notions. And people also don't relate to the large numbers. So when they see a certain number of people dying, or they see people, numbers around the world or around the country of the number of deaths, it is very scary. But I think the fear factor is irrationally higher than the numbers would indicate. I just looked yesterday that, I have a 0.3%, based on my age and my, male 62-year-old, I have a 99.7% chance of not dying.
Just over influenza. Just over the flu, which is 1 out of 1,000. We got 3 studies now showing that it's somewhere between 1 out of 1,000 and 3 out of 1,000. And the 3 out of 1,000 includes the aged and the vulnerable. So if you take those out, over 65, compromised health, like I tell this story every day. My mom now lives with us. She's 91 years old, just got out of rehab, broke her hip, needs care. I don't let anybody come and see her without a mask on, because if she gets sick, it's over, right? I mean, dead, right? So you have to be smart about it. But I'm 62, but I'm a healthy young fella, right? Like Brandon Beach. If I get sick, I'm going to be in bed for a week. I'm going to drink chicken soup, have hot tea. I'm going to get over it, and I'm going to get my tail back to work. The fear is irrational, and those numbers are not getting out. Former Speaker Mark Burkholder said something to me last night at dinner, and I just want to share this, and then I'm going to go to word from our sponsors. He said, the problem is we're now experiencing what socialism is. Stay home, get money. And he said the problem is some people really like it.
Well, thanks, John. I wanted to add one more comment. And first of all, thank you very much for being at the Hotel at Avalon.
Hotel at Avalon.
It's a beautiful hotel, and we are open. We decided definitively we're not going to close. A lot of hotels closed, even though we're funding Red Ink right now, and we're losing money. But we are open because we want to be prepared to open more fully and get life back to normal as soon as we can in a healthy, moderated way. And I think as long as the hospitals and the medical facilities are getting enough support from the financial support they need and the supplies they need, that's where the primary source of money should be going. But we've got to get back to business and start this economy back up again.